Justice Reynolds, can you tell us why in your 30 years on the court you've never once hired a female?
Logan, the least you can do is write the man a letter of apology.
It's all over campus. We can really make it fly.
You're just going to follow him blindly?
I don't follow anyone blindly, including you.
I came here to give a speech and to be with you in the calm surroundings of my alma mater.
The surroundings are calm. The students are not. The study of law is something new and unfamiliar to most of you, unlike any other schooling that you have ever known before.
The first years are hard years, much more than we know. With good friends to love us, we'll feel every blow. Stay open to all things, unknown and new. And one day, we'll all say, hey, look, we've come through. Hey, look, we've come through. And one day, we'll all say, hey, look, we've come through the first years.
You teach yourselves the law, but I train your minds. You come in here with a skull full of mush, and if you survive, you leave thinking like a lawyer.
Versus Hoxie. You've got the wrong case.
No, that's the appeal. You forgot to shepherdize the case.
But that holding contradicts the Benito case.
No, it doesn't.
Did you hear? He's here today in Kingsfield's class. A day early.
Well, what are you talking about?
Justice Reynolds with Kingsfield. I just saw him outside. I can't let him see me like this in a sweatshirt. Ford, please, you have a tie. Well, at least let me wear your jacket.
You'd split it.
Hart, I could fit yours.
Well, if you don't button it.
I promise. Please, come on, fellas. I'm just wearing a sweatshirt.
Are you sure he's coming today?
Yeah, I saw him together outside going in the faculty entrance.
He's probably here early to check us out, to see which level he wants to give the speech on Friday. Ours or Bell's?
Very funny.
Now, you give us the case of Miller versus Hoxie. Mr. Gagarian.
Moo.
What is it you're trying to tell me, Mr. Gagarian? Is something amiss?
The judge, the justice, Chief Justice Reynolds.
You mean someone in this classroom has unnerved you? Ah, perhaps our visitor. What is your name, sir?
great pleasure to be with you here today and later in the week when I speak at the 25th anniversary of the admission of women to this law school. And I look forward with even greater anticipation to the reception, where I hope we may get together as alumnus and students, perhaps even as friends. Since this is an informal visit to your class, I have no speech prepared. However, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might care to ask.
The class will understand that in addition to personal matters, there are certain questions pertaining to the court that are forever clothed in secrecy and will not be discussed here. Mr. Justice, they're yours.
Houston.
Yes. Sir, do you feel that Washington is the right place for the Supreme Court?
Oh, I think so. But I do sometimes wish that the rest of the government would move on. And, Houston.
Sir, I just wanted to know, Your Honor, if those are FBI men up there at the door.
FBI? Oh, no. Those young gentlemen are my law clerks. As you know, every year I select 3 from the various law schools.
To that point, sir.
Yes, Miss,
Sir, I realize you're here giving the speech celebrating the admission of women to this school. But Justice Reynolds, can you tell us why in your 30 years in the court you've never once hired a female for the job of law clerk in your own office?
I fear, Miss Logan, that you are disrupting a lively dialogue between our guest and our class, and I suggest that we entertain more pertinent questions.
I asked a simple question, sir.
You may sit down, Miss Logan. One does not speak to a justice of the Supreme Court in that fashion.
Sir, we're all aware of the justice's great record. I was just hoping for an explanation.
It's the area of a personal question, Miss Logan. I thought it would be stimulating and perhaps instructive. My friend Justice Reynolds attended this class. You're making me regret my decision.
But, sir, isn't questioning the whole point of this class?
I'm afraid you may not yet fully understand the point of this class. I'm afraid you may not understand the point of this week. The point of this class at this moment, Miss Logan, is respect. The point of the week, celebration. The point of your opening your mouth again, apology. Do I make myself clear?
I see no reason to apologize, sir.
All she did was ask a question.
Ask a question, my foot. She embarrassed a justice of the Supreme Court. I've seen stupid things before, but this.
Logan, just one question. Why?
What did I do? Kill someone?
Close.
Who?
Me. With mortification and embarrassment. I talked to my father and I told him what went on. He couldn't believe it. My study group.
What do we do?
Oh, come on, Ford. That's more your father's problem than mine. Well, come on, what's the rest of it?
It was neither the time nor the place.
I don't believe you guys. I didn't intend to embarrass him.
Well, the fact is, you did embarrass him.
The fact is, I never received an answer. None of you noticed that.
We noticed.
Well, then why didn't you back me up? How do you think I felt standing out there on a limb?
All right, forget it. It's over. Let's get back to work.
Yeah.
Logan, the least you can do is write the man a letter of apology.
For what? Uncovering a probable violation of a federal law by a Supreme Court justice? Is that what you'd like me to apologize for?
Hey, easy.
Women never got anywhere by taking it easy, Hart.
What are you complaining about? You're a token female.
Joke?
Yeah, and that's the trouble. It is a joke with all of you.
Hard will you get her off of that?
No, she's got a point.
You too?
I'm right about this issue.
Well, yes, but so were they. I mean, was that really the time or place to call them on it?
Yes. Your lives aren't at stake. Your future isn't determined by his decisions. Well, gentlemen, you were right about one thing. I'm certainly in the wrong place.
She'll never be one of the boys.
Well, thank heavens that's over.
I don't think it is, Alan. You underestimate the intensity of my students. You also forget that I've been teaching Miss Logan for more than half a semester.
Charles, I came here to give a speech and to be with you in the calm surroundings of my alma mater.
The surroundings are calm. The students are not.
But damn it, there was only one of them.
Believe me, this is only the beginning.
Logan? Hi, I'm Nancy Paletto. I'm a 3L and head of the Women's Law Alliance on campus.
Oh, yeah, I've seen you at meetings. Hi.
Hi. And this is Helen McMillan, the national office.
Hi.
Glad to meet you. I was in town for a meeting, and I wanted to congratulate you on nailing Reynolds.
Oh, well, that wasn't premeditated.
But you did it, and that's what's important.
And Kingsfield's just as guilty. He invited him and then wouldn't let him answer.
Well, I'm not sure about Kingsfield, but I suppose...
We're here to offer our support.
Right.
You deserve it. It's all over campus. We can really make it fly.
You've got something really important here. The first female law clerk was Justice Douglas's 35 years ago. And since then, out of 27 clerks a year, there's never been more than 4 or 5 at a time. And Reynolds, 90 clerks in 30 years, and he's never appointed a woman.
Every women's group on campus has called us, and they want in.
And I pledge cooperation from National. You're not alone.
But I'm not sure how to reopen the issue.
Reopen? It never closed.
Nancy told you. Every women's group is demanding he answer your question. Why doesn't he have a female clerk? And with our resources, we can force an answer for you.
You with us?
You got it.
Great.
Logan. What's going on?
Well, read this before you go in. Read this before you go in. Think about it. Please, read this. Thank you.
Hi. Hi. Here, take it.
It says don't go to Kingsfield's class.
That's right. That's what it says.
Logan, I've got to talk to you.
Okay, I'm listening.
Not here.
Well, I can't go now, Hart. Kingsfield's class is starting.
I can't do this to him.
We have to.
You got me.
What about you, Hart? Do we have you?
No, Logan, you don't.
You just gonna follow him blindly?
I don't follow anyone blindly, including you.
Here, read it. Read this. Think about it.
And that brings us now to the case of Tuttle versus Snyder. I understand there is some sort of disturbance going on outside. May I remind those of you who are here that I require your total attention in this classroom. Mr. Bell.
Professor Kingsfield?
Mr. Bell, we await the swift flow of your intelligence.
Professor Kingsfield, I have a message for you.
Messages are delivered to my office. You're disrupting my class, sir.
It's marked urgent, sir.
Bell, you continue. Mrs. Nottingham, will you kindly inform campus security that I want no interruptions in my classroom of any sort? No messages, no telegrams, no deliveries, and no outside persons.
Yes, Professor, right away.
Any messages?
And Justice Reynolds is in your office, Professor.
Oh, good afternoon, Charles.
Ah, there you are.
How did your class go? I understand there was a demonstration.
Yes, there was a demonstration of sorts. Pamphlets, a few pickets, attempts made to persuade students not to attend class.
We were never so aggressive.
Nor perhaps so interesting. Look at them.
Don't they want to learn?
In a way, this is a learning experience for all of us.
You were very strong with that young lady. And now you seem to approve.
Strong opinions, they're catching. They wake us up. Look at you, liberal for years, preaching equal rights for women and forgetting to practice it at home.
Yeah. Something of the sort, I suppose. You see, Charles, I'm used to male clerks. I was one myself. It's what I'm comfortable with. I assumed that my philosophy, my opinions on women's rights would be enough.
Perhaps, and perhaps not. Why not try to see for yourself? Why not investigate? Poke around the school a bit. See if you can feel the tempo of the campus today. Its energy, its spirit, its zest. Might be good for you.
They are everywhere. You can't take a step without somebody shoving a piece of paper in your hands. Reynolds should answer Logan. Logan should go home. Women should go home. Down with male chauvinism. It doesn't stop.
Well, actually, some of the material makes a lot of sense. And have you read them?
Read them? Are you crazy? I haven't got time to wade through 100 leaflets to find the one that makes any sense.
Well, take the time. I didn't realize that the selection of a law clerk could be so meaningful. Symbolic, kind of.
Reading material written by extremists can affect your mind.
You're unbelievable.
All right, Anderson, but you really think all this fuss is going to make any difference?
Yes, it will make a difference.
Eavesdropping.
Eavesdropping. We couldn't help hearing your loud mouth.
Come on, Anderson. Surely we can find some civilized men's club somewhere.
Mike, turn it up.
Of course I defend freedom of speech, especially in an area such as this.
The demonstrators say they won't back down. In fact, they're determined to increase pressure until they get an answer from you, Mr. Justice. Have you any intention of giving them one?
I would like the students, and anyone else interested, to know that I intend to respond to Miss Logan's question when I make my speech on Friday in honor of the admission of women to this law school.
Thank you, sir.
Did you see the judge on television? What's all that stuff?
Ammunition. I told you, Logan, you can't believe everything.
Come on, everybody. Let's start folding these pamphlets.
Yeah, I need some more.
If this wasn't effective today, what makes everybody think it's going to be effective tomorrow?
Logan, can I...
We're going to pull out all the stops. Complete, total organization. All the women we can get from anywhere.
What is all this? I mean, you two heard the judge's speech. What's going on? Why are you still getting this stuff ready? Didn't you hear what he said?
We sure did hear what he said.
Well, did we hear the same thing? Didn't he say he was going to give you an answer on Friday?
No, he didn't.
That's what I heard.
He didn't say he was going to give an answer on Friday. He said he'd respond on Friday. Do you know what that is? Public relations double talk for I'm not giving you an answer, I'm responding to an attack. That's all that is.
Well, I don't agree with that.
What?
I said I don't agree with that.
Good. I don't either. The man is a justice of the Supreme Court. I think he meant he was going to give you an answer.
And I think we owe it to him to let him speak.
Well, who said we weren't going to let him speak?
Well, I keep hearing rumors of heckling.
Only if he doesn't answer us.
I think he will. Allison, how many of these things have you been in? Not a lot.
Well, then learn. And you too, Logan.
Look, believe me, miss, I will respond really means I'm not going to dignify you with an answer.
Do you really believe that?
Yes.
Logan, don't let them do this to you. Don't let this thing get out of hand.
Look, we're going forward with our plans. If the judge comes through, fine. If he doesn't or if he stalls, he's got to feel our anger. The man's wrong, Hart, wrong. And if you can't see that, then that's your problem. Now let us get back to work. We have a lot to do before Friday.
Logan, could I talk to you alone about this?
We can talk here.
On a personal level, okay?
Okay. If it's not too late when I finish here.
I'll wait up for you.
Carly.
Did you see the judge on television? What's all that stuff?
Hey, what's up?
I can't sleep. How do you really feel about all this?
You're upset, aren't you?
It's the issues. I can't separate it out. I can't make it work for me. I mean, it's getting us all on opposite sides. How can we work together with all this going on?
It's not the issues. It's Logan.
It's Logan. I just can't see losing her to this.
Because she's right, and you know it.
I don't know it. Kingsfield laid down the parameters. He said no personal questions, and she plunged in anyway.
You just hate being on the opposite side from her.
I know. I've got to try to find a way to reach her.
You might not be able to. The justice in 30 years on the court has never hired a female law clerk. Now, that's discrimination.
Yeah, but I don't understand it. I mean, the justice is one of Kingsfield's best friends. He was behind trying to get women into law school 35 years ago. Why couldn't Kingsfield influence him?
Contract law is not criminal law. We are not out to extract a pound of flesh. The purpose of the remedy of a broken contract is to make the parties whole again, to restore them to the position they would have been in had the contract been carried out. Contract law is a positive force. It does not serve the human instincts of retribution, the desire to see a person made to suffer unreasonably for his wrongs. The aim of contract law is restoration, reformation, rebirth. Those of you who lust for vengeance must search for that particular doctrine elsewhere. Gentlemen and lady, can contract law ever properly be used as a punishment?
Carly, I thought I was helping coordinate everything. Then why didn't I see this last handout? You even used my signature without checking with me. The one that says, come and see the judge sidestep the issue again on Friday. I don't like the use of the word sidestep. It does matter. Everything matters. Carly, there's no way that you thought that I approved this. I was with you until 4 a.m. You must have done this after you left my room, and it's all over the campus by now. Excuse me, Helen.
Sure.
I have to talk to you.
Yeah, Liz, just a second. Okay. Nancy, I want you to call State and find out how many girls are coming down on the bus for the Justice's speech tomorrow, and we'll need to find housing for them, okay? What is it, Liz?
The pickets. They're demanding Justice Reynolds hire a female law clerk now. Well, whose idea was that?
One of the girls.
I think it's right on the mark.
Well, I don't. We agreed to wait and see what happens on Friday.
You don't always understand these things, Liz. Sometimes it's
I
important
understand when Carly goes further than what she agrees or tries to drag me into something against my will.
Carly is a little impetuous.
Then if she's unreliable, Helen, get rid of her.
In movements like this, you don't get rid of people. You try and acquire them.
Carly has lied to me and tried to use me. I feel like the Sorcerer's Apprentice. I joined something I believed in, and now it's getting out of control.
Do you know how far we've come in the 11 years since the women's movement started? Do you know what the truth really is? In terms of real acceptance, we've gotten almost nowhere. It's barely beginning. I mean, sure, we have some female police. There are a few tennis tournaments and golf tournaments for women, an astronaut or two, some West Pointers. Great, it's a start. 5 years ago, we didn't even have that. Great. We've got a couple of mayors, a governor, some minors, a few surgeons even, but equal pay and equal rights? I mean, we're having a hell of a time with the ERA. People say they believe in equality for women, but they don't do anything. We have to do it. We're the pioneers here, and that's why we have to push. That's why one female law clerk is so important, so very, very important. Now, asking for that female law clerk now is a tactic. But it has to be that kind of tactic until people realize that we're serious.
But I think the people here do realize that we're serious. And I just don't want to jeopardize that. I think we can make progress if we handle ourselves well.
It's going to be all right, Liz. I mean, if the justice comes through and admits he was wrong, I mean, it'll all go as smooth as silk. We'll cheer him and honor him for his courage. But if he doesn't, we have to go on the warpath.
I agree.
I followed your advice, Charles. Took a stroll around the campus.
Good, good. And?
And you were right. The presence of women in the law school is most invigorating. The walks, corridors, everything buzzes with vitality.
And controversy.
Yes. Thanks in large manner to you. I remember, long before the war, there you were, the only man to march down Arlington Street with a handful of female petitioners.
Well, we didn't accomplish much politically that year, but I did have a fine time.
Yeah. You think I've been in the wrong about this, don't you?
Whether I think you've been right or wrong is not the issue. For 15 years, I have recommended female law clerks to you. You had every right to select whomever you wanted.
waited up for you last night.
I'm sorry. We didn't finish until late.
You know, I had to cross a picket line this morning. That's something I'm not used to doing, Logan.
Oh, that's right. You weren't raised in the city.
Oh, please, no Midwestern jokes. Hey, this is serious. Do you realize what you're doing?
Well, I'm not doing it alone. There are others involved.
Yes, but it's you I'm worried about. I mean, you're polarizing the entire student body. I mean, let alone the fact that we can't study. It's what it's doing to us all personally. I mean, you and Anderson against me and Ford.
Well, don't forget Jonathan. He'll join you. He's really big on women's rights.
It's not so much a matter of who's where, it's that we're divided.
Well, issues can do that, Hart. And what's happening is serious, and the issue of women's rights is serious.
But it's not women's rights. It's Justice Reynolds, and that's all. Now, you have to judge a person by his acts. And this man has been tremendously helpful to women. It's on the record. Now, you're making this thing about his law clerk into some kind of a symbol.
You don't understand, Hart. The law clerk is more than a symbol. When a person takes the public office, he has the responsibility of setting an example, and the law clerk becomes a living fact. It's like the difference between the idea of women voting and women in Congress.
But you're making Justice Reynolds look totally bad, and he's not.
Justice Reynolds hasn't done anything terrible. It's just that he and Kingsfield won't admit they're wrong. Now, how can I back down if they won't?
But don't you see that this thing can spread? It could shut down classes.
Hart, don't you realize that Justice isn't perfect, and neither is Kingsfield? You see that guy up there on the podium, and you say to yourself, I want to be like him. You identify with him. But it's different for me. As a woman, I don't see him as a hero I can become. I listen to what he says, and if it makes sense. A woman doesn't feel hero worship for a man the same way a man does.
Well, what you're doing still isn't right.
Well, sometimes you just have to stand up and be counted instead of looking for answers to your own doubts.
My doubts? Well, don't you have any doubts? I mean, the trouble you're causing everyone, doesn't it bother you?
Thank you. Thank you, Professor White. 25 years ago, this law school was a male bastion. Then, within a few years, a huge change took place. It did not take place easily. Some professors were resistant. But once set in motion, there was no stopping it. Today, the law school is a better place. And who could better comment on the change than Justice Alan Reynolds of the United States Supreme Court, a graduate of this school, a proud standard bearer.
Professor Kingsfield, Professor Clark, Dean Rutherford, faculty, students, and guests. I'm honored to be with you today on this most important occasion, a celebration of the anniversary of the admission of women students to this great law school 25 years ago. I address you not only as an alumnus, but also as a justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. What great changes have happened in this nation since the Supreme Court was founded some 200 years ago.
Speak to the issue. Women law clerk.
Harley, will you sit down and let him finish?
I ask you this. Would the great forward movement of our country have been possible if the Supreme Court were not a separate, unique institution answerable only to the Constitution itself?
Let him speak.
Come on. 200 years ago, the first Chief Justice, the Honorable John Jay, fought a momentous battle, establishing forever the independence of the court and its sacred obligation to guard and uphold the great principles of our Constitution.
Yeah, why don't you read it sometime?
His was not an easy struggle, no less intense than any of the great battles fought over fundamental issues that preoccupy us today.
We won't work till women clerk! 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 We won't work till women clerk!
Goodbye. I gotta get back to the National. Listen, if you ever get down that way...
You lied to me.
I didn't lie. Look, I can't control everybody. It got out of hand.
So what? We accomplished our purpose. Look, we forced a justice of the Supreme Court off the podium because he's a sexist. Now, that can't be too bad.
But you didn't even give him a chance to answer.
Oh, come on. The demonstration was more important than the explanation.
So the ends justify the means.
In my book.
Well, not in mine.
Look, Carly, we did a lot of good, Liz. See you, okay?
Oh, you're right. It's all in there.
I mean, he acknowledges it's discrimination. He was thinking of making a change, but I don't know what he'll do now.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did absolutely nothing.
You know what gets me? Half of the demonstrators weren't even law students.
I know. Here's Logan. Should we show the speech?
No, she looks upset. I don't want to show it to her now.
We should say something to her.
All right.
Let's go.
Logan? Logan, you okay?
No,
Anything we can do?
not really.
Hey, come on, Logan.
I appreciate it, Anderson, but not now, okay? I'm just not up to it.
Well, what are you going to do?
Just gonna go take a walk.
You must have covered 50 miles picketing.
Really did go around in circles.
Will we see you at the reception?
No. You go ahead. I'll see you later.
You sure?
Bye.
I can see the outside of the hall. It seems free of pickets, including your nemesis, Miss Logan. Reason seems to have taken possession of them. Nevertheless, I shall send Miss Nottingham on a little reconnaissance. Miss Nottingham, will you kindly find Miss Logan for me?
Logan! Now what, slinking away?
Marching away.
Come on, Logan.
I thought you were supporting me. You going to the reception?
The most important principle is survival, and you know what that means.
Food?
Food.
Professor Kingsfield?
What is the situation, Nottingham?
I don't see Logan anywhere. Everyone's at the reception now, and they're all waiting for Justice Reynolds. The mood is good.
Thank you, Nottingham. Now, find Miss Logan and bring her to me.
How? Where?
I have no doubt, Lieutenant Nottingham, that you will find a way.
Oh, young man.
Mrs. Nottingham. Mrs. Nottingham?
Oh, young man. Which room is Miss Logan's? Young man?
29.
Thank you very much. Miss Logan?
Come in. Mrs. Nottingham.
Miss Logan, Professor Kingsfield would like to see you.
He would? Why?
I really don't know, Miss Logan.
Well, if he's just going to blame me and make me feel worse, I can't go. I feel bad enough already.
Miss Logan, I really don't know the reason. Look, I have done a great many unusual things in my life, but I have never once lied to a fellow member of the female sex.
I'm sorry.
I really think you should face him.
Ah, Miss Logan, what a pleasure to see you.
Thank you, sir.
You've had a very remarkable week, haven't you? For the first time in 30 years, someone has managed to keep my students from attending my class. Much as I deplore it, I cannot but admire your energy and your ingenuity.
Well, thanks again, sir.
In addition, you have managed to ruin a week of celebration. You've demonstrated how a devoted and sincere student can become increasingly obsessive, run amok, and create a mass consternation.
Did you summon me here to insult me?
No intention of insulting you, Miss Logan, only of helping you. Justice Reynolds is an honorable man. You've read his opinions. His vision has always been on a grand scale. When you look at the majesty of distant mountains, Miss Logan, do you notice the grass beneath your feet?
Professor Kingsfield, I have always admired and respected his...
Justice Reynolds is a gentleman of tradition, Miss Logan. A justice of the Supreme Court must order, indeed, command his law clerks. In his civility, perhaps the justice never considered it proper to order a woman about. You demand he change the personal habits of a lifetime. So be it. Perhaps the time has come. But protest and obstruction will not change the mind of a man like Justice Reynolds.
Professor, he was...
Justice is in my office. You have only to convince him of the rightness of your position.
You want me to argue with Justice Reynolds after everything that's happened?
You learned nothing from me. Your opportunity, Miss Logan. Do with it what you will.
Anderson, she really did give up. I'm gonna go get her.
Yeah, I doubt that Logan ever give up on anything.
You know, you're right. She wouldn't. There she is.
Terrific. I think I'm going to go ask the young rebel to dance.
Not you, Anderson, me. Would you like to dance?
I'd love to, but I can't.
Why not?
Because this dance is taken.
Hey, Mark.
What?
I can't believe this.
First years are hard years, much more than we know. With good friends to love us, we'll build every road. Stay open to all things, and one day we'll all say,